Yeah, last night I'm reading this book, Atomic Habits. You might have heard of it.
Yes.
And they mention that there is one part of the brain that when you think of going on vacation gets activated. But then when you are actually on vacation, there is another part of the brain that is enjoying it or not. So the book said that many times thinking about going on holiday might be more exciting than to be on the actual holiday.
Good.
And there was something like what you are saying, Phoebe, made me think of that chapter of the book. And I just want to go back to another thing that we've been discussing in this episode, and it is about this dormant potential that we often talk about. And because in this ever-changing world and all this technology that is right here, every single minute of the day, how do we get people to make more conscious decisions that will improve the quality of their lives and that at the same time will protect the sanctity of being human? Because these days it's so easy to eat, junk food because it gives you all these stimuli. And it's so easy to be on social media all day because it gives you this boost of dopamine.
Mhm.
How do we get to more conscious decisions so that we get to experience this human potential that we do have inside of us?
How do we get there?
What is a practical way, or what is like some practical ways in which we can get there?
I think one of the best things that happened as a result of COVID was that there was a hard stop for everybody in the world, a hard stop in the way that they lived their life, the pace and rhythm of their life. And maybe for the first time in a long time, for many people, they had to sit in silence. They had to sit with less activity and had to be present with their family or just with themselves, right? And reconnect with themselves. So we've already had the opportunity as globally, right? This is a shared experience globally. There aren't that many on that scale that have occurred that impacted everyone at the same time. So we've already had that experience. The question is, how have you responded as a result once things were quote unquote back to normal, that you were able to go back to your life? Um, and just taking that time for reflection. And so there's some people that were just waiting, like, I can't wait to get back to the way that I was living my life, or I can't wait to get back uh, to my life the way that it was. And it's never going to go back to that. We can try, but there has been an inherent shift, right, in humanity, and we're all connected with one another. And so, what is the most practical way? It's to sit back and reflect. Um, and what was revealed, because I think many people were surprised, but what was revealed within your inner self, within your inner conversation, what was revealed to you about how you interacted with the world and what was going on with your life, and what decisions can bring you back to the things that matter most, right? So hopefully there was some sort of recalibration that happened or that occurred. And if it hasn't, maybe our talk will help encourage you to get to a space of quiet so that you can reflect uh, and get to a place of prioritizing what matters most and taking stock into your the way that you show up as a human in relationship to other people around you.
Yeah. COVID time was such a blessing in disguise.
In a way, it was also very telling that certain animals would come back to areas that were abandoned, and some nature
Sure.
was recovering because there wasn't that much traffic for a while. So it's very interesting that it actually helped us become aware of these larger processes and interconnectedness with the natural world actually again. And it's also maybe a daily thing or a weekly thing that especially for people in crowded cities, that they go to a park or a beach or a forest every now and then to get out of the concrete jungle to find that kind of reconnection. That could be a daily, a weekly, or a monthly practice or something like that. That could be really beneficial.
Moritz.
I do that regularly, yeah.
Yeah, you do that on a regular basis. And there is a concept of grounding. We're not going to go into that, but on a macro level, what you're talking about is connecting with the rhythm, right? The frequency. So there's frequency of our brains. There's the frequency of our cells. There's a frequency in our environment. And yes, technology has its own frequency as well. And, you know, there's a lot of EMF around us, and those frequencies act on our body. That is the type of noise that people do not think about. But when we are in nature, then we reconnect to the Schumann frequency, which is the frequency of the earth, which is what gives us our sanity and keeps us connected and grounded. So, yes.
Yes, I was thinking that the Schumann frequency, was reading about it yesterday and listened to an audio before our call about the Schumann resonance. And in the concrete world, it's actually excluded from our own organic being, and that disharmonizes. It could be disharmonizing if you don't regularly find connection with that again. And there are also places on Earth where it's very healthy then to just stand. There are other places where you feel like the vertical frequencies are slightly off. So that's why probably some certain villages or cities never have grown there, although it could have been a nice place to build. It's very interesting to think these things through, these more energetic and frequential dimensions of our existence. I think the new human is becoming more aware of this too. It's in relation to new insights from science, but also by becoming very much aware of the disconnection from it, which the intuition we talked about before has a silent voice of bringing us back to it. Now, technology could help then in reconnect with it, even when you're in the concrete jungle, by what I mentioned before, the sound therapy, for example. If you cannot go to a natural area, that could be a good alternative, maybe to do that daily. Listen to these kind of audios to reharmonize your energetic frequency system. But yeah, what would beat the original?
Exactly.
Isn't it much more beautiful to walk in an actual forest and hear real birds sing instead of an audio of it? So that or a virtual reality goggles could be great to look at it. I had an experience of a parachute jump with the virtual reality glasses at some point, and it was really interesting to as an educational thing of how certain water lines in the Netherlands were created. But that's a good alternative if you don't actually want to jump from an airplane. um, but yeah, standing on the top of a mountain and have this beautiful view over a wide landscape, and then yeah, see what was happening there, have some understanding of developments there. That's maybe a more magnificent experience as well. And we still have a choice we can use all of it now in combination. So that's also a beautiful thing of the time we live in, I think. Yeah.
For some reason, it makes me want to go back in time and live in this pre-technological era that we are living in. I just want to live in the mountains, surrounded by nature. But I also understand I'm part of this era and that technology is a big part of it, and that I need to learn how to use it wisely to my benefit and the benefit of our society. And of course, yeah, spread it.
I think that's a good concluding remark to relate wisely to all the developments we are in. I think that's a very beautiful closing remark. Yeah.